Oh, we're still here. Okay, I got one more exercise in the series of mastering the fretboard of a guitar. And today, what I want to show you is something that is a great warm-up exercise. It uses groupings of 3 notes and will shift positions along the whole neck. Again, we're still in C major because the whole goal is to learn what the notes are, how they're called, and where they are located. But because it's very common to use first 2 strings as the ones that we play the melody on. They have the brightest sound, they're very easy to reach, they're great to apply articulation and bends and vibrato. So today's focus is on first 2 strings. And we'll start here at the first position of the 2nd string, and we have a nice stretchy shape which consists of space of whole tone and whole tone. So we'll basically play on 1st, 3rd and 5th fret, and the same pattern on the 1st string. So it's 1st, 3rd, 5th, 1st, 3rd, 5th, and for this pattern again we will say the note names out loud. C, D, E, F, G, A. And because we have a grouping of 3 notes per beat, we can think of them as triplets, or we can think of a bar of 6/8. So it rounds nicely with a rhythm. If you find this shape a little bit challenging, maybe your hand is not stretched yet, you can easily overcome that by moving your wrist a little bit towards the notes that are being played. So as long as we're starting with 1st finger, 2nd, and when it comes to pinky, I just let go my index finger a little bit and slide position a little bit towards higher frets. But of course, goal is to have all the notes in place and just use our reach of the fretting hand towards every note that's being played. So this was the first pattern, C, D, E, F, G, A. Then we move to 3rd fret, and this time we'll have oddly different shape. So it's 3rd, 5th, 6th on 2nd string, and basically 1st string is on the dots, 3rd, 5th and 7th. D, E, F, G, A, B. D, E, F, G, A, B. And just as with all the previous exercises, whenever we have a series of shapes and positions, I like to go back and forth just to memorize them and see how they are connected. And back to the first one. And 2nd. And back to 1st. And again, as you've probably noticed, I just love to speak the letters out loud. So, well, let's do it with saying the note names. C, D, E, F, G, A, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, D, E, F, G, A, B. Okay, now we're moving to another shape. We'll start again with index finger, 5th fret. This time on 2nd string. And the pattern is half step, whole step on the second string, so it's 5th, 6th, 8, and on first string it's 5th, 7th, 8. E, F, G, A, B, C. E, F, G, A, B, C. And let's connect previous shape with this one. D, E, F, G, A, B, E, F, G, A, B, C. D, E, F, G, A, B, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay, so right now we have covered the whole octave from C to C on first two strings. Now we're going back to the first pattern and we're connecting those three in consecutive order. So C, D, E, F, G, A, D, E, F, G, A, B, E, F, G, A, B, C. Back to the second one, D, E, F, G, A, B, and first one, C, D, E, F, G, A. Okay, now we'll move up to another pattern. And this one will start on note F on 6th fret, 6th fret, 8, 10th on second string, on first string, 7th, 8, and 10th. F, G, A, B, C, D, F, G, A, B, C, D. Okay, let's glue it together with the previous one. E, F, G, A, B, C, E, F, G, A, B, C, F, G, A, B, C, D, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, F, G, A, B, C, D. Okay, another one. We ended on F. This one's gonna be starting with G on 8th fret. And it's gonna be exactly the same like the first one. Whole step, whole step, whole step. Next string, whole step, whole step, whole step. Okay, and again, previous one and the one that I just showed. F, G, A, B, C, D, F, G, A, B, C, D, G, A, B, C, D, E, G, A, B, C, D, E, and now the previous and the current one just once. F, G, A, B, C, D, G, A, B, C, D, E, back and forth, F, G, A, B, C, D, G, A, B, C, D, E. Okay, next one, starting with A, 10th fret, and the pattern is whole step, half step, and the same thing on the first string, whole step and half step. So it's 10th, 12th, 13th, 10th, 12th, 13th. And the note names are A, B, C, D, E, F. A, B, C, D, E, F. And the last one. The last one starts on B on 12th fret of second string, and the intervallic pattern is half step, whole step, half step, half step, whole step. So it's again the same thing on both strings. And it's B, C, D, F, E, F, E, F, G, B, C, D, E, F, G. And let's end it up on C. Just so it's nice and musical. Okay, now let's put it all together, and we'll run from the lowest C on second string up to 13th fret on the B string. And again, slowly with saying the notes out loud. C, D, E, F, G, A, D, E, F, G, A, B, E, F, G, A, B, C, F, G, A, B, C, D, G, A, B, C, D, E, A, B, C, D, E, F, B, C, D, E, F, G, C. And that's the whole thing. Possibly the easiest way to memorize it is that we start with a symmetrical pattern. I mean, it's all the same, big distances, big jumps between the frets, and same thing on both strings. Then we have a common element. The first two notes on every string are the previous last two notes from the previous pattern. So we can visualize it as three dots. Then there is something new going on the next frets, but the two previous notes are basically the same, they stay the same. So here on note E on 5th fret, we have a mirror flip of the same pattern, half step, whole step, and then it's the opposite, whole step, half step. Then there's an odd one because we have big jumps and then half step, whole step. Then it's symmetrical all the way. So it's the same pattern on both strings with two whole steps, and then it's again the same thing and the same thing. As you can see here, with this kind of layout of 3 notes per string, we basically use just 3 shapes in general, because these are only 3 combinations that we can work out for the major scale. So we have the one with big jumps, whole step, then whole step, half step, and half step, whole step. In this exercise, there are no other patterns, no other shapes. These are only those 3. And it's also worth noting that if we break down notes of each string, we can clearly see how the major scale is constructed. So let's play just the notes of C major on 2nd string. It's C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now, what we can clearly see is that in C major we have 2 half steps, two half steps between 3rd and 4th step, and 7 and 8. Between all the other notes we'll have whole step, so it's going to be 2 frets distance instead of 1 fret. If we remember about these 2 points, that this is E, F and B, C, it starts to be quite clear where we shift the partners, because we always want to have this half step, the smaller interval of 1 fret somewhere under our fingers. So once we play from the first step, it's all whole steps, then it has to be here, then it has to be here under our first 2 fingers, then there's no half tone anywhere again, and here we have B and C. So these half tones here between 3rd, 4th, 7th and 8th step are a certain guideline how to lay down how to lay down the patterns. And of course, it's the same thing with first string. We have F, G, A, B, C, right? These are the same notes, B, C. We have half step. C, D, E, again, whole step, E, F, half step, and G, whole step. So this is like a best way to have an idea where are the characteristic points of the major scale, that these are the halftones that are naturally there, and this is where things shift around a little bit. Okay, so this is the exercise that I want to show today. Hope you stick around for another video on Fretboard mastery, and hoping to see you again.